Hello everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aria and our lesson for today is about motherboard. What is a motherboard? The motherboard is the most important component in computer system. It is the backbone that supports all the other computer components. Choosing the right motherboard will be the difference between allowing components to work at their maximum capacity and significantly slowing them down. The trend towards further integration is continuing. This means more and more components are now bundled into the motherboard. Right now, a consumer can get a decent motherboard that integrates all video, sound, and modern functions. This makes for a cheaper and more efficient system. The trade-off, however, is the most integrated components are only meant for basic use and are not as powerful as some standalone versions. If the user is a serious graphics or audio user, steer clear of the integrated components and get the graphics and sound card that will suit your purpose. Motherboard components. First, I/O ports. This is located in the back panel of the microprocessor that is used to conjoin the outside hardware or computer devices. Audio ports connects sound devices such as the speaker, microphone, and musical instrument digital interface. DB25 female connector. This is a parallel port connector for most personal computers and commonly known as the printer port. DB9 male connector connects a serial device of the computer like a serial device of the computer, like a serial mouse and external modem. Local area network port links computer nodes or workstations to form a network within a small area and with the aid of communication media such as the network switch or end router. PS2 ports connects the mouse and the keyboard to the computer system. USB ports. These ports are becoming the industry standard in connecting external devices. From flash disk and memory card readers, several peripherals are now designed to connect using these ports like printers, external hard devices, scanners, web cameras, computer mouse and keyboard, replacing the DB25 or DB9 connectors. VGA port serves as an interface of the monitor screen to the other members of the computer system. This is the fastest video card versions. VGA port serves as an interface of the monitor screen to the other members of the computer system. The fastest video card versions are based on the standard ATX power connector, 4 pins. This is for the 4-pin of the power supply unit connection. This is separate from 20 or 24-pin ATX power supply to provide DC voltage of the computer processor. Processor's zero insertion force socket handles the processor or CPU chip. The compatibility of the socket depends on the computer processor type, such as AM2 socket of the AMD and socket 775 of the Intel. Fourth, memory slot, DIMM. This is called as dual inline memory module. This is the slot of the computer memory or what we call RAM. Fifth is ATX power connector, 24 or 28 pins. A group of connector that provides a DC power output to the motherboard from the output of the power supply unit. Sixth, vendor name. The manufacturer's name is important so as to identify also the right driver to be installed to have the computer system to work properly. Seventh, CMOS or BIOS battery. In this part, the CMOS or BIOS battery is placed to afford 3 volts directly current or voltage to the CMOS IC so that it can preserve the BIOS settings like the time module, hardware information and settings, and parameters among others. BIOS is a set of programs stored in CMOS IC, used to preserve the BIOS configuration of the computer. CMOS battery port number, lithium dry cell CR20 323 volts. Motherboard's version number and model number displays the motherboard's version of the driver software to download correct drivers. CMOS or BIOS IC. This is where the BIOS configuration is being installed, such as speed of the CPU chip, RAM, etc. AMR slot modulates and demodulates that analog audio of the computer. PCI Express slot is a slot for high-speed serial computer expansion bus standard designed to replace the older PCI, PCIX, and AGP bus standards. Chipset, a group of integrated circuits that can be used together to serve a single function and are therefore manufactured and sold as a unit. North Bridge chipset, technically known as MCH, manages and controls the computer memory before the processing of the CPU chip. South Bridge chipset is a patent name referring to ICH. It is a microchip that controls all the input and output devices, such as keyboard, mouse, and the monitor screen of the computer that is commonly located at the back of the system unit. CPU fan power connector. This is a separate 4-pin power supply unit connector located near the CPU socket. This connector provides power in order to run the CPU cooling fan for the processor. Motherboard considerations. First is ATX motherboards. Regardless of variety and brand, must be aligned with the latest industry standard. Motherboard speed. Motherboards nowadays can run as fast 800 mHz. Computer buyers should get the fastest one as much as possible, as everything on the motherboard can only operate as fast as the motherboard itself. Last, plug and play. The motherboard has it. All motherboards with PCI slots have to be plug and play compatible. Plug and play is a format that allows a peripheral to be automatically detected by the system and which then installs the necessary drivers. Thank you for watching.